probably could have predicted. At the moment we had our champagne glasses high in the air, we're all clinking our beer mugs together and celebrating the victory over the COVID pandemic, the lies and the deceit. We're all starting to watch and bask in a new news story of a Russian invasion of the Ukraine. Behind our backs, quietly, maybe even sneaking around, they started to bring the bills from hell. Now, if you want to know what's going on in the world or what the agenda is, you could listen to Klaus Schwab, or you could just look at California. Now, before we get into what's happening at California, let's remember how they were the leaders of this insanity we've all been through. They were proud of locking people down. They were proud of masking. They were proud of turning people into Nazi snitches. And it looked a lot like this.
Tonight, Los Angeles County, where 10 million people live, has declared a public health emergency.
Breaking news, stay at home. That is the order.
A statewide order for people to stay at home.
California, with its 40 million people, becoming the first state in the nation to order a virtual lockdown.
Here in California, they are saying that people could be charged with a misdemeanor if they violate the shelter at home.
If you've observed recurring violations of the safer at home order, please continue to let us know. You know the old expression about snitches? Well, in this case, snitches get rewards. We want to thank you for turning folks in and making sure we are all safe.
The governor made the decision to close beaches after seeing the heavy crowds in some beach communities, especially in Orange County. Aerial video showed packed crowds at Newport and Huntington Beach this weekend.
And those young people that are still out there on the beaches thinking this is a party, time to grow up, time to wake up.
Just a short time ago, one of the city's most popular hiking trails was shut down.
Being cooped up in the house is, it's not good.
Recently, we've seen the reports of some large parties and gatherings in flagrant violations of health orders. These large parties are unsafe and can cost Angelenos their lives. That is why tonight I'm authorizing the city to shut off Los Angeles Department of Water and Power Service in the egregious cases in which houses, businesses, and other venues are hosting unpermitted large gatherings.
Nancy Pelosi is under fire today after a surveillance video shows her at a hair salon getting a blowout and not wearing a face mask. The most powerful woman in America can be seen with wet hair inside a salon in San Francisco. Problem is, under California COVID-19 regulations, clients cannot be serviced indoors.
As it turns out, it was a setup, so I take responsibility for falling for a setup.
This morning, Californians waking up to a new reality, bracing for a statewide lockdown affecting 33 million residents after infections soared past 20,000 a day.
Tonight, Governor Gavin Newsom says he's stopping indoor dining in restaurants and closing all bars, wineries, and movie theaters statewide.
In Los Angeles alone, an estimated 15,000 were forced to close during the pandemic.
I'm losing everything. Everything I own is being taken away from me. They have not given us money and they have shut us down. We cannot survive. My staff cannot survive. Mayor Garcetti and Gavin Newsom is responsible for every single person that doesn't have unemployment, that does not have a job, and all the businesses that are going under.
For those who blame you, what do you say to them?
I take responsibility for trying to save as many lives as we possibly could by moving the first in the nation with a stay-at-home order. We think that's saved lives.
As the LAPD says its efforts to prevent more violence have been complicated by the pandemic, continued rise of murders and shootings in LA is causing community concerns, and it has families living in fear.
Homeless camps piling up on affluent LA sidewalks.
We have a very serious homeless crisis in San Francisco.
As tents move in, there's a clear exodus of residents moving out.
If you're not shocked by what you see, then I don't know what you would be shocked by.
Moments ago, the governor of California announcing the COVID-19 vaccine will be added to the state's current list of immunizations required to attend school. This is a first in the country.
Proof of COVID-19 vaccination will be required at bars, nightclubs, and more in Los Angeles County.
A new bill that could mandate all California businesses require employees and independent contractors to be vaccinated against COVID-19. Dr. Richard Pan says this needs to happen.
having a safe workplace is essential to keeping their businesses going.
The lawmakers are considering a bill that would allow children 12 and older to get the coronavirus vaccine without their parents' permission.
The new bill would require all K through 12 students to get vaccinated against COVID. To think that our legislature would pass a bill and put it into law that our littlest children from K all the way up through 12 have to submit to what is essentially an experimental medical procedure.
There's no liability here for anyone. A lot of us can't afford to quit work to homeschool our kids. It's not fair that we don't have a choice.
This needs to end right here, right now, today.
This is worse than the Nazis.
We cannot be living in a hole any longer.
Everyone's on the brink of just complete financial devastation at this point.
Everyone's going under.
You need to step up and do the right thing.
Do not make Orange County into the People's Republic of China or Nazi Germany.
As California goes, so goes the nation.
So before you sit there and say, oh my God, thank God I don't live in California, I want you to think about the final line by Gavin Newsom, because I believe it's prophetic. As California goes, so goes the nation. Our conversations today are going to be, what do they want for this nation, and how do we see that through what's happening in California? I want you to take this very seriously, because what we are seeing in California and what we talk about today, you must realize, is what is happening inside of every governor's office, inside of every Senate office, congressional office. The largest, most powerful lobby in Washington is pharma, and we are seeing what they want for this nation take place in California. To give you a sense of it, 10 bad bills were released just over the last couple of weeks. There's this great brochure put out by PERC, which is Protection of the Educational Rights of Kids. Let's go through the list of these 10 bad bills, shall we? Here they are. SB 871 requires all children 0 to 17 to get the COVID-19 vaccine. SB 866 lowers the age of consent to age 12. SB 920 authorizes the medical board to inspect a doctor's office and records without patient's consent, violating HIPAA laws. SB 1464 forces law enforcement officials to enforce public health orders even if they oppose them. SB 1479 requires schools to continue COVID testing. SB 1390 censors any social media platform that posts dissenting information that contradicts the government narrative. SB 1184 changes the California Medical Privacy Act to authorize a healthcare provider or service plan to disclose your child's medical information to a school-linked services coordinator without parental consent. 8B 1797 makes changes to the California Immunization Record Database for government agencies to have access to all vaccine records in addition to just students. AB 1993 requires all employees, including independent contractors, to show proof of COVID-19 vaccination. And AB 2098 classifies the sharing of COVID-19 medical opinion by doctors and surgeons, contrary to the CDC narrative, as misinformation and as unprofessional conduct that would result in disciplinary action. A total military takeover of the state based on your health records.
Generation like Prime Minister Trudeau, half of this cabinet are actually young noble leaders of the world. So that we penetrate the cabinets. The change is not just happening. The change can be shaped by us.
We have to prepare for a more angry world. How to prepare? To take the necessary action to create a fairer world. I see the need for a great reset.
So people assume we are just going back to the good old world which we had, and everything will be normal again. This is, let's say, fiction. It will not happen.
There is only one way this pandemic is going to go. It's going to get worse and worse and worse.
Pay insufficient attention to the frightening scenario of a comprehensive cyber attack, which would bring to a complete halt to the power supply, transportation, hospital services, our society as a whole. The COVID-19 crisis would be seen in this respect as a small disturbance in comparison to a major cyber attack.
This is Aaron Russo, a filmmaker and former politician. To his left is Nicholas Rockefeller of the Council on Foreign Relations. After maintaining a close friendship with Nicholas, Aaron eventually ended the relationship, appalled by what he had learned.
I got a call one day from an attorney woman I knew, and she said, "Would you like to meet one of the Rockefellers?" I said, "Sure, I'd love to." And we became friends, and he began to divulge a lot of things to me. So he said to me one night, he said that there's going to be an event there, and out of that event, you're going to see we're going to go into Afghanistan, so we can run pipelines from the Caspian Sea. We're going to go into Iraq to take the oil and establish a base in the Middle East, and we're going to go into Venezuela and try and get rid of Chavez. And the first two they've accomplished. Chavez they didn't accomplish. And he said you're going to see guys going into caves looking for looking for people that they're never going to find. You know, he was laughing about the fact that you have this war on terror. There's no real enemy. He's talking about how by having this war on terror, you can never win it because it's an eternal war. And so you can always keep taking people's liberties away. And I said, how are you going to convince people that this war is real? He said, but the media can convince everybody it's real. I mean, you know, it's just that you keep talking about things. You keep saying it over and over and over again, and eventually people believe it. You know, you created the Federal Reserve in 1913 through lies. You create 9/11, which is another lie. Through 9/11, you're fighting a war on terror, and now all of a sudden you go into Iraq, which was another lie, and now they're going to do Iran. You know, and it's all one thing leading to another, leading to another, leading to another. Now, I would say to them, what are you doing this for? What's the point of this thing? You have all the money in the world you ever want. You have all the power. I said, you know, you're hurting people. It's not a good thing. And he would say, what do you care about the people for? Take care of yourself and you take care of your family. And then I said to him, what are the ultimate goals here? He said, the ultimate goal is to get everybody in this world chipped with the RFID chip and have all money be on those chips and everything on those chips. And if anybody wants to protest what we do or violate what we want, we just turn off their chip.
Oh my gosh! Oh my god! No,
there's the evidence, boys. Second no, you're number 1931 3734. That's what product you are now.
I just scanned his arm and he has the chip.
I don't know.
That's freaky.
Walmart scan with the QR code scanner.
That is freaky. Take your shirt off. I'm going to keep scanning you slowly.
Look what I just figured out, Justine.
Get Famous Maker
Scan this arm.
mattresses, just $2.99. Sealy Premium Clean mattresses for just $3.99.
Okay. Now here's my vaccinated arm.
Two-sided mattress for just $5.99.
What? No.
Yes.
No. Do it again.
What?
No. Dude.
Northeast Ohio's original mattress factory.
Now this one.
Right up. Plus,
You gotta go.
waist size bonus savings when purchasing your mattress with an adjustable base. Waist